Hello and welcome back to the Lee Summit Town Hall podcast. I'm your host, Nick Parker. This is a great time to remind everybody that this podcast is brought to you by the good people at Budget Blinds of Lee Summit. They are your home for signature series shades. They're your home for, I know I've talked to you about this before, Ben, but did you know? The robots.
The robots?
The robots. If you want to control your shades or your other home devices with your Alexa, with your Apple device, your Google device, whatever, that's there. You can turn your home into a smart home. They're also just a great local family running a great local business. Head on down to Budget Blinds of Lee Summit in downtown Main Street. Tell them Nick sent you. It is the end of October, which means two things. One, Halloween. Okay, let's say three things. One, Halloween's coming up.
Yep.
Two, the Chiefs are awesome again.
That's great to know, too.
And number three, it's time for the Feed Lee Summit event brought on by the Lee Summit Rotary clubs. I'm going to say clubs, right?
Yes.
Yep.
It's the Downtown Sunrise Rotary and the Lee Summit Rotary Club that meets at noon.
That's correct.
On Thursdays. I've got with me back David Fritz, Ben Martin, and Monica Humboldt. Monica, are you a Rotarian as well?
Humbard.
Where did I get Humboldt?
I don't know.
We've known each other for a while.
I know.
And I'm just
Still
messing
Humbard.
everybody's names up.
That's
weird.
all right.
Are you a Rotarian as well?
I have been. I'm not active right now, but I have been.
Are you? Is this like in hockey where you're in the penalty box for a while?
No.
Yeah, we won't talk about that.
She was hesitant there for a second.
We're trying to get her back in. So.
Well, I have a little granddaughter that I'm watching right now, and it's on the same day. So I have to step back for a little while.
Well, I'm glad you're here because you are going to offer a little different perspective. We've had Ben and David on here before to talk about the event in other years, but you're kind of coming from the other side as one of the organizations that benefits from Feed Lee Summit. This fundraiser, annual fundraiser, where it helps Lee Summit Social Services, Coldwater of Lee Summit, which you know. It helps. What's the new one? Boost
for Success.
Boost for Success.
Yep.
And Meals on Wheels and One Good Meal.
Yeah.
You got it.
That's all five, right?
Yep. Yes.
I counted, but I realized I was putting up fingers that were in different order. I'm really on it today. Well, let's start with the beginning here, and Ben, I'm going to look at you first.
Okay.
As the teacher, I'm going to give you first right to talk.
Okay. Sounds good.
Give us our date. Give us our location. We're at a new location this year.
We're in a new location, yes. Going to be Friday, November 14th. It will be at the Goppert Center on the Unity Village campus.
The newly renovated Goppert Center.
Newly renovated. It is beautiful, too.
It's beautiful. It's fantastic. I'm going to slide out another reference for another event here. December 13th is the Pretty Funny Comedy Show coming up.
Got it.
It's a great little event for those kind of things as well. But, okay, November 14th, we're helping these 5 organizations. This is a little different. David, you and I were talking about this before we hit record on it, that this is a little different because it's not the individual nonprofit organizations asking for money. This is the Rotary Club coming out and saying, hey, come help us. We want to write 5 really cool checks to these organizations. I think sometimes there's a little power in that it's not the individual organizations asking, that it's somebody else coming forward in the community and saying, hey, we can do this thing together. Is that how you guys look at it too?
Well, a couple of our beneficiaries don't have their own fundraisers. For example, Boost for Success, Meals on Wheels. But with the other 3 as well, the need is great. So even if they do a gala or a fundraiser, they probably can't raise enough to get them through a year. So it's one of those things, every little bit helps, right? And so that's where the 2 Rotary clubs jump in together and try to make this happen.
How many years have you guys been doing this one?
2021 it started, so 4 years. Yep.
And then before that, it was the Empty Bowls.
Yeah.
How long did Empty Bowls? Because Feed Lee Summit is really just kind of a reimagining of
that's
an
correct.
event that had been going on for a while. I'm trying to remember how long Empty Bowls had run.
So Empty Bowls started in 2007 and ran for 11 years, so through 2018. And then in 2019, we rebranded it to Feed Lee Summit, and it's been Feed Lee Summit since 2019.
And that's when you decided to merge your powers, the two groups, right?
That came along in 2021. I said, hey, look, I think this is a great event for the two Rotary clubs, and we can have significant impact. And let's be honest, Sunrise Rotary is a small club, 45 members. Rotary Club of Lee Summit's 155 members plus, somewhere in there.
You sat a little taller when he said that, Ben. Is there a little competition?
143 is our official number right at the moment.
I will add to what David was saying that as coming from the other side of things, having organizations like the Rotary do events like that for Coldwater and other organizations that are doing their own events, this is huge to have organizations like that step in and do them for you, because you can put on your own events. Putting on your own events more than once a year takes a lot of time, and when organizations like this will step up and do this for you, that's huge, and helping all of us. And we all love working together, all these organizations. We have great relationships, so it's just huge for all of us. Very impactful for these organizations.
Yeah, none of the 5 organizations individually have the staff to individually put on big events, but we've got lots of volunteers who are willing to help out, and so the combined efforts, I think, come up with a much better result.
I think this is this one event is a great example, kind of, for how a community can all come together.
Absolutely,
and specifically our community, which, I think we've all probably talked about this in pairs before, but one of the really cool things we've all found living here is that when a need arises, people show up.
Yes. Absolutely.
I mean,
and they want to know what's going on in the community. They come to the organizations and they ask us questions about what's going on. Tell us what you see. I mean, they really have a desire to be aware, and you don't have that in every city. So we're very fortunate.
I want to dig in on the whys, and I think it's really important this year. But before we do that, let's take a little time to set up for people who don't know, for people who haven't been to Feed Lee Summit. What is this event? It's really, really cool. So let's talk about it a little bit and kind of give people the specifics of what we're doing.
This year, for example, we have 3 hot air balloons coming in from across Missouri. We've got one from Pleasant Hill, one from Columbia, and then one out of Jeff City. If you've never seen what they call a hot air balloon glow at night, it's incredible. So we'll have these 3 very large hot air balloons that people will get to see on Unity Village campus. And then we have the standard things. We have a lot of great travel packages. I think Ben said we're around 90 silent auction items, or maybe a few more.
Yeah, there's a silent and a live auction.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We've got all kinds of things for people to bid on and enjoy.
Yeah. So, and we've got a fabulous auctioneer, Tricia Bowers, back this year, who is fantastic. And then we have the incredible Megan Mercer as our MC.
She's okay.
She's
fine.
Yeah,
She's fine.
a little better than fine, but that's okay. She's great, and we're so excited.
Yeah.
She agreed to come back.
Yeah. Had a good dinner.
Yeah,
Have a good dinner too.
Matthews Catering. We're going to do a buffet dinner. So, we've done the little soups and taste and bites, and people said, hey, we love it, but gosh, I never get enough to eat, or it's a lot of work getting a lot of little bites. So we have a buffet dinner. So that'll be new this year, and hopefully people will leave full. And
I'm glad you added the full part, because you paused.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say full in their stomach, but a little less in the wallet. But,
full in their hearts.
Yeah, full in their hearts. There you go, Ben. Full in their hearts.
That's okay. It's fine to ask people to give.
Yes.
And I mean, that's why we're going, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is to give. Well, let's talk a little bit. It feels like with all of the crazy, and I don't want to get into political discussions really, but it feels like with all the crazy going on right now that this is a time. This year's there's a little more need, I think, right, for these organizations, and as they're trying to pad their budgets, they're trying to find more food. Does it feel as there a little more pressure this year?
I've been involved with this since 2017. So a couple of years of Empty Bowls and then Feedly Summit. This feels worse than 2020 COVID. I mean, we're talking about a lot of people here. We all talk to the beneficiaries. Monica mentioned she had just talked to a couple just the other day. They're giving away their food the same day they get it. I mean, they can't stock up for the weekend or the next week. It's gone. I know Coldwater shared with me, Sarah, that for their first time, they had to turn people away this past Saturday. That's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
That's very, very hard to tell somebody, we can't help you today.
I don't think when you were running Coldwater, I don't think you ever told me anything like that where you ran out.
That was last weekend was the very first time ever that we'd ever had to turn people away. We saw, from the time COVID started, it just increased and had still been increasing. You'll talk to Roberta at One Good Meal. She'll tell you she saw a 12% increase this year. I mean, it's increased and increased and increased. Monty said, in July they had a record 480 people on a Saturday that they served. And now they just broke another record this last weekend. So it just continues to grow, and the problem just gets worse, and the resources get smaller. So that's what they're trying to now figure out how. Well, I know Monty had told me that what they did during the week, because they serve people during the week as well as on the 2 weekends a month, and they had to adjust their schedule during the week to have 3 every hour instead of 2 families every hour. So they have less time in their clothes closet, but that's just to get more people through. Because, I mean, when I was still there, I was there through June, and we always talked about what are we going to do when there's just not enough hours in the day to get everybody through. What's going to happen? And so what they had to do last Saturday was basically tell people you'll have to try and schedule something during the week. And not everybody's available during the week. People do have jobs. We're talking about the working poor a lot of times. Yeah. And you don't ever want to tell somebody, take off and come get food. That's not something you want to promote. So, now they have to try and figure out how they're going to get in there and get food. So the anxiety, that was one of the things in the years, I was there for 10 years, and that was one of the things I always tried to focus on, was trying to keep the anxiety level down, because these people already have anxiety, for other reasons. And then the last thing you want them to have is anxiety over trying to just feed their family. So you want to do everything you can to not make that happen. So Monty said they've seen a lot of tears, a lot of people very, very upset. They don't know what's going to happen, because we're not out of this. We're just starting it. That when you take away the SNAP, it's really going to start getting bad again.
All the news we read says that starting this weekend, it's going to get really hard.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if you can imagine if somebody told you that, okay, starting this next week, you're going to be living without a paycheck, what would you do? I mean, what Monty was talking about, a guy who came in and he hadn't eaten in 3 days. So, he says, you have to put yourself in their shoes. What would you do? Have you ever been without food for 3 days? Have you ever not eaten for 3 days? I haven't ever eaten for 3 days, so I can't relate to that. But you have to try to imagine what that's like, because that's something that many of us have no concept of. And
the perception we have here in Lee Summit is that we're a wealthy city and so on and so forth. But we don't realize that there are parts of our community that are in need as well, and it's up to those of us who are well enough off to be able to help out whatever we can in whatever way we can.
Monty was telling me another story about a homeless man, which I just can't even imagine living in that world. But he told me something that really brought it home. I go home every day and I have nice, clean bathrooms in my house, and I have food in my refrigerator. And he was talking about this guy that comes in pretty regularly, that's homeless, gets food, and he came an extra time. He was knocking on the door and he couldn't figure out why he was there. And the guy said, well, hey, I really need some cleaning products. And Monty's like, well, why would you need cleaning products? You're homeless. You don't really have a home to clean. And the guy explained to him that he lives in a park he uses the public bathrooms and any cleaning products to clean the public bathrooms so that he would have a clean place. And it just really hit me because I've never thought about having to live that way. And you know, we always talk about food, but that's a whole nother area.
I think it's very easy to convince ourselves or to allow ourselves to not see that other part of this community, because it is a wealthy community that we have a lot.
Yes.
Yeah,
And it's why we love living here.
right.
Because we have all of the things that we want to have in our hometown. But I think it's real easy to just let the blinders stay up a little bit.
You know, we also have kids that are hungry. I got a report from school district. There are just under 4,500 of our students who are on free or reduced lunch. And actually, most of those, probably about 90%, are on free lunch.
And I'll tell you from past, that's up about 1,000 from when I had checked that last.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit. So this event is raising money, because I know we can go on and on about but need for food, right?
Yeah.
Monica,
Yes.
what does a check like this do? I mean, because these are significant checks written, because so many people in town show up, they buy their tickets, they bid on items, they take these things home. These are pretty good checks every year for these 5 organizations. What does it do for you? That
will provide, well, months of food, several months of food. That's getting a little smaller now, but it's just huge. It's going to fill those shelves for several months, and when they're working day to day, that's huge, because they, you know, when you have to sit around and figure out how you're going to get food on the shelves, and you can't spend that time doing more serving, you know, that's very time consuming for the staff, and trying just to figure it all out and do drives and things like that, where they can now let's focus on these families and how we can better serve them, and looking at what are the issues that are coming up now, you know, that we maybe haven't even thought of, and just concentrating on getting all those people through. That's going to help these organizations just focus on the people, focus on their needs, and what items do we really need. When you do drives, it's fantastic. You get all this stuff, but you know, you don't always get the exact things that these people need. And this allows these organizations to go out and purchase in large quantities exactly what they need for these kids, for these families. That number, I know if that number's gone up for the free and reduced lunch, that means that the number that Cowater is doing for their kids in the schools for food for the weekend, that drives that number up, because that's what that's based on. And Cowater now does all the kids in Lee Summit for their weekend food, so as of just this last couple of years. So it's great. They're able to. They're not sitting there going, okay, can we add 3 more kids at the school? It's like, we got this. You know, when you have those funds available, you know, you can just do it, and you don't have to think about it.
Gives you a little more confidence.
That's right.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that the funds also help provide that staff
True.
that's doing all that work too. It
That's
helps
true.
support the people who are actually going to be in there, trying to make sure that those supplies get out.
Right.
I think that's an easy thing to forget too.
Yes.
There's people that run these organizations, and they have to be paid as well.
Well, I'll tell you, when I started in 2015 was when I became the executive director. I was full-time, Monty was part-time. During COVID, I begged our board to make him full-time, because there was no way I could write grants and do everything I had to do, so we brought him in. And now they've added 2 more part-time positions since that. So it just takes more people to get all those people input into computers, and it's just a lot of time. So
what are some of those other needs? Because you hinted at that a little bit, that it's, you know, the food drives are great, and you can get all the non-perishable items that that people agree, and those are awesome.
Yeah,
that's needed and necessary. But what are some of those other needs that your former organization and the others that we're talking about here that they have to try to meet?
Well, the produce that we're trying to do a lot of more fresh things. I know that we've tried to really focus more on that, the healthier items like that, because we thought about it, especially during COVID, because we were all concerned about being not being sick.
Right.
So we really put a big focus on that. And then you just have the supplies to make all that happen. You have, if you're giving out food to kids, you need bags to put stuff in. You need you just need supplies and things. And they do a lot at Coldwater. They serve a hot meal on Saturdays, so they have to have food to give out that hot meal and the containers to put it in, and so there's a lot of things like that go into it.
And sometimes things come up that you weren't expecting to come up too. So, for example, One Good Meal a couple months ago suddenly had their freezer go kaput. And this is a $1,200 freezer filled with hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of food that had to be unfortunately thrown away. Oh. So, when something like that comes up, that's an unexpected expense, but you've got to find a way to cover it somehow.
Right.
Yeah, you don't think about planning for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Coldwater added an extra freezer. It's been in the last year because we were getting a lot of food in, but we didn't have anywhere to put it, and we needed more food because there were more people, and so we had to add a whole walk-in freezer just to be able to keep that food prepared for when it needed to be given out. So, yeah, there's a lot of things going on.
A lot that goes into that. What are David, you and Ben, what are you from your side of, what are you guys focusing on in that message and that appeal to people to sponsor? Because, hey, I'm sure you guys can use some more sponsors. Yeah. But that appeal to go get sponsors, to get people to buy tickets, to come bid on things, and as Elaine Metcalf, the executive director for Prodeo, she always tells me, she says, my job is to separate your dollars from your wallet. But I mean, that's what you're asking people to do, is to come give. So what are you guys focusing on in that messaging and your conversations in the community?
David, do you want to talk about sponsorships?
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Sponsorships, are dollars that we're going to distribute to these 5 beneficiaries. We've already raised money to, I think, cover our cost. So everything we're bringing in now. And let me just say this, for every dollar we spend, we raise $2.50. So all the money that we raise, 100% goes to these beneficiaries. But sponsorships are a way for you to get your name out, is saying, hey, I believe in these 5 beneficiaries. I believe in Feedly Summit. I want to help. Here's our money. But certainly, if you don't want to come to the event, you don't want to sponsor, donations. Again, 100% of the profits are going to these beneficiaries. We have no paid staff. This is a 100% volunteer organization. We start in February, and we don't even end on November 14th. We have to go through everything and cut checks. One of the things I do want to point out that we're going to vote on today is we know that Coldwater and Lee Summit Social Services is in really dire need. So we're going to give them an upfront boost financially, and we'll decide on what we can give them today. We don't want to make them wait until after the event because people are hurting right now. So we're gonna work on making that happen. So again,
that's really awesome. That is a cool thing about your organizations.
Yeah, based on the funds we've already received, we're able to do that.
But again, anything that people want to give is going to go to these 5 beneficiaries, and we'll get the money to the people here in this community. As we've all said, we said very early on, gosh, Lee Summit's a great community. We're on the move. We're growing, but the need is growing. So I also want to give one shout out to Unity Village. They have been just an outstanding partner for us. They have been great to us for the last 4 or 5 years. But this year, they said, hey, we want to partner with Feedly Summit. Our missions align. Let's do this together. So I want to give them a shout out. They've been helping us get the word out to the media as well, and we're so thankful for them and everybody in this community.
I think that's an asset in our community. Again, that's another thing that I think we don't always think about first.
Yeah.
And they're doing a great job lately too. And,
Absolutely.
the
Yes.
renovations at the Goppert Center.
Yeah,
we
gorgeous,
could go on forever.
beautiful.
On that. But that's another piece of it. You were going to jump in, Monica?
Yeah, I just want to say that one of the things I liked to always do when I was with Coldwater was to share when you have events like this, share this with the people that we're helping, because that means a lot to them to know that these organizations that sponsor and put these things together, that they care about them. And just hearing that is sometimes what people need. They need that as much as they need the food. They need to know that somebody out there realizes that they have this situation and then they care about it. And sometimes that's just what you need to get through the day. And, you know, we all feel that way. Some days you just need somebody to come and give you a hug and get you through the day. And that's the way these people are every day, usually. So I tried to share that with them. So when you sponsor something like this, you're not only giving your funds to provide them with just the necessities of life, but you're giving them that hope, that feeling that somebody's out there at their worst time of their life and their need, that it's very dynamic for these people.
Yeah, they're not alone, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure that those people get to the Goppert Center on the 14th as well. So there's plenty of tickets still available.
Where can people? This is a great segue here, Ben.
Good. All right.
Where can people go to get tickets so they can participate and they can give and support?
There are a variety of QR codes out and about around town that you can use, and you can always go to the Feedly Summit website.
Go to feedls.org.
Feedls.org.
That's it.
Yep. Buy a ticket, donate. Yeah.
And we're about 3/4 sold. Is that right?
Yeah, about 75%.
So get on it. Go buy your tickets before you sell out.
Right.
And bring your friends.
Always bring friends, and have your friends bring their wallets.
And bring the wallets, right? Because I'm in charge of the auctions, and so we've got some wonderful auction items here.
What have we got? Can you tease us a little bit? What are some of the fun ones?
Do you like Andy's frozen custard?
Who does not?
And we've got a year's worth of Andy's frozen custard that's up for
now. Is that a
auction.
year in what I think I could eat in a year? Or
it's one item per week, and so that's quite a bit. So that's 52 different items. So it's going to be great. And we have, my wife is doing a torta making class that you can come and learn how to make a torta with her. It's our Christmas tradition in our family.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I'm going to be upset because we're going to be giving it to someone instead of having it. She's going to have to make another one now. I know for sure. Let's see, what other things?
I may knock on your door Christmas Day. I'm just telling you now.
What else we got?
Chef Aristo. So
Chef Aristo is going to do a meal at your house.
Oh, that's cool.
And then Amy Williamson of Flavor is doing a whole basket. That's all going to be wonderful stuff that you will enjoy. We have movie nights at home. I've got 90 different items.
Don't you have some jewelry for the ladies?
We have some jewelry. Have 16, 17 different items that are ready to be sold and bought, and then adorn those lovely ladies.
We have
maybe even a couple guys. I don't know. There might be some men's items as well too.
We have a couple of pilots going to take you around and show you Christmas in Kansas City from up above.
Oh, those are cool.
Those are
cool experiences.
Yeah. And we have one who's even actually going to allow you to take the controls, and you'll learn how to fly.
Wow.
Yeah, listen, I should not get that. Not sure that would be a good idea.
Yeah, so there's all kinds of interesting items. One of my favorite items is an old 1910 Surveyor's Transit that someone has donated. It's a brilliant piece of antique machinery and so on. It'd be great to have in a den or a study, or even to hand over to somebody who is in the surveying business and say, look, this is where you came from. This is all the things that you used to be using too. So it's going to be wonderful too.
You want to talk about our artist that's going to be there?
Oh, okay. Avery Fortin,
yes,
a local artist.
Avery, yeah.
Avery is going to be doing a live art piece while the dinner and program is actually going on. You'll have a chance to watch him put this art piece together, and then you'll have a chance to bid on it and take it home. And in addition to that, you'll get a video of him while he was making it.
Yeah.
A musical overlay for that video. It's going to be really special.
Those things are cool. I love the live art things.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I just met Avery last week at
He's fantastic.
Creates
Oh, yeah. Okay.
fundraiser, and there was a live. Our local
Yeah.
Beth Martins did a live painting with her Patrick Mahomes, which. Come on, who doesn't want that, right?
Yeah.
So I love those live things, though. They're just so much fun, like to watch it create. And if you're like me, you get jealous of real artists.
Yeah.
It's fun to like see that process and to watch them work because I'm insanely
Yeah.
jealous of them.
So we
and
have-
Avery's a great person.
Yes, he
Gosh,
is.
what a great person.
We have
too.
contributions from the Lee Summit Symphony and Summit Theater Group as well, and so we'll cover all the arts in terms of the auction items too. So it's going to be great.
That's
Something
really
for
cool.
everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Something for everyone.
Well, and that's another example. You just said, when you said Summit Theater Group and the symphony and stuff, exactly what we talked about at the beginning of all these groups working together
Right.
to support each other
Yeah.
and to make sure they go forward. And that's what makes it cool here in Lee Summit.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That's what makes everything
Yeah.
awesome. I'm gonna ask you one more time. Any one of you can answer this. Where do they go again? Get tickets.
feedls.org. feedleesummit.org. feedls.org.
All right.
Help us help these folks.
Do we have a goal we're aiming for, and do we know how close we are to it? Can we
What's the goal this year?
Well,
can we
you
give
know,
some guilt?
Well, our goal, in February, right, we get together and we said we wanted to raise $175,000, which would be a little bit above what we've raised, our high water mark. But I'll be honest with you, we would love to raise $250,000 to really help out these 5 agencies, because this is going to be a long, tough winter in Lee Summit for a lot of people. And what I tell people is we have the easy job raising the money, and it's hard, don't get me wrong. Anytime you put on a gala, it's a lot of work. But we don't have to tell somebody, I don't have food for you. We don't have to make that call. So we're asking people in Lee Summit to help us so nobody at these agencies has to tell somebody no. We can't feed you today. So help us if you can. Anything and everything helps. feedls.org.
feedls.org. Let's raise $250,000, Lee Summit. Let's do it. Get out there, everybody. Go help us. feedls.org. Go get your tickets. Monica, Ben, David, thanks for coming hanging out with me in the vault. Appreciate it.
Sure thing.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Nick. Thank
That'll
you.
wrap us up for this week. We'll talk to everybody next time.